Jack, I'm very excited. I'm excited about the possibility of being able to take the position. I do believe I'm uniquely qualified. I'm not just saying that in all of my press releases. I believe it. I know that I can walk in there on day one and contribute. I know that I can, in addition to contribute, I know that I can set the town of Weymouth into a second phase. The second phase that of the new form of government, that being a strong mayor form of government. I'm of the belief that you can have a strong mayoral form of government, but still be sort of a little softer to the community, and get a little more input. I want to have a better communication going with the council. I have experience on the council. I've been at a point where I felt that I wasn't being communicated to on major issues in the town, and felt that cooperation and communication could have been better. I'll make sure that's better. I believe another reason why I'm qualified is that I feel the town. I feel the pulse of the town. I've worked with so many different age groups. The seniors have always been very close to my heart. The two outreach workers, it took me 3.5 years to get the appropriation committee in, then the selectmen to look at the possibility of outreach workers, because many of our healthy seniors can drive to the Whipple Center, but the other ones who are stuck at home cannot, and these outreach workers are fabulous. They go out into the homes, they help them with their medications, and I even was able to increase their hours, and I'm very proud of that. I'm qualified because I've touched on every age group, I've touched on every element of municipal government, be it administrative or legislative. I should be the next mayor, and I want to be.
Anything else, anybody?
No, I think I would ask one thing. That was such a neat wrap up that I feel awkward going on this in a totally opposite direction.
But I was going to get away.
I don't. Yeah.
Here comes the grenade.
And I thought he was a nice.
I don't know. You don't hear the political side in Weymouth talking too often about the police side of things and kind of the state of the town in terms of crime. And I don't know, it's a big election in Quincy. It's a big issue in the Quincy election, the crime issues in town and drugs and everything, in the city and drugs. How do you feel Weymouth is in terms of crime right now? Is there a drug problem? There's a perception that drugs come through North Weymouth a lot. There's a lot of arrests up and down Bridge Street all day and night. We've got sad links to drugs in this horrific murder of Joanna Mullen. There seems to be a youth and drug thing going on in towns, Quincy down 3A. What do you think about Weymouth's condition? Have you looked at it much? Do you think there's improvements to be made?
No, to say, Jack, that it's kind of quiet, you're absolutely correct. It's kind of bizarre how quiet it is. And I'll give you an instance. I was with the Homestead Civic Association, and I knew we were getting a lot of break-ins, and we were trying to get some information on it, and everybody was just kind of quiet about it. Nobody really knew. So maybe it just doesn't get out as much. Yes, we have crime. We have horrible drug problems with children in school. We now know that you can buy heroin for the cost of a six-pack. And there are those dealers who are trying to get heroin in and addict children. I can only relate to Braintree. It's very loud and screaming in Braintree, and the police department make it a big issue and get it out to the public so that they can get other people to say, hey, I saw some action happening in neighborhoods. Do I think it's in Weymouth? Yes, it's in Weymouth. Of course it is. It's in Weymouth as much as it is in other communities, but maybe what we need to do is get it out there, get the public to understand exactly what those stats are, how many break-ins we've had. Now, I know we have a police blotter, but maybe we need to really emphasize that, get some PowerPoints going, get into the neighborhood associations and say, this is what's happening in your neighborhood. This is the amount of drug busts that have happened. What Chief Chief Frazier did in Braintree was he did a PowerPoint production at town meeting to try and get a couple more officers on, and it would have blown your mind. He had all of the headlines, and basically from your paper and others, indicating where the drug busts had been and what's happening, and there were suicides and overdoses and stuff. The people thought, oh, not in our schools in Braintree. Can you imagine? Oh my God, not here. Well, it is there, and it's in Weymouth also. I agree that it's quiet, and it shouldn't be, and it needs to get out there, and maybe we need to scare people enough to know that we have to enhance the drug division. That the traffic division is, think about the impact that's going to have just because of the base, not only the base, but everything else around us. We're about to put in a 6-level garage on the corner of Route 18 and Fog Road, God help us. But what is that going to do? If we've got all this building going on, so the traffic division, although I believe in place, is very limited, and we need to look there. So if we're gonna be looking into the area of the police department, those are the two areas I would really want heightened, is in the drug area, because it's coming down, and it's filtering. When you consider that drug dealers are buying homes in Braintree, and think about Braintree as that area right outside that loop. They're buying homes there and distributing because nobody thinks that they're there. You had that, in fact, I think you covered it, you guys, where they came in and grew all the marijuana in the basement. That was a beautiful home that I think was on the market for like $600,000. Nobody could believe it. It was thick in the middle of a residential area. So if they're coming into Braintree doing that, you know that you're in Weymouth. And maybe it's being kept too quiet. Maybe we need to exploit it more. I would certainly want to look into that, yes.
One other small question, that same line. Where did you come down on Project Turnabout, moving in from their Hingham headquarters over to Route 18?
I was involved with the neighborhood to the point where I wanted to make sure that they were going to be good neighbors, and I will tell you that they have turned out to be. That the neighbors' concerns have been met, that the neighbors now have considered them a neighbor, and it seems to be working fine. I had concerns initially, but I know that that program has been extremely successful in other communities. So of all the programs that you're going to get in that manner, I think that particular project, that program is a good one. And it has turned out to be a decent neighbor. So initially, yes, of course they'd be afraid, and those fears have been relayed.
Caitlin? Anything?
No, I'm all set.
I'm getting anything more, Greg? All right. I guess we're all set.
Well, thank you. I
Thank
really
you.